All right, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight. Hopefully, you guys watched all of the WWE first round matchup videos with Rollins versus Lashley, Kurt Angle versus Dolph Ziggler, Jeff Hardy versus The Miz, and Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. This, of course, is the Crown Jewel World Cup to find out who is going to be the best in the world somewhere down the road. I believe somewhere down the road that this is going to lead up to something involving Raw versus SmackDown at Survivor Series. This is probably the easiest way to sort of, be a stepping stone to get us to that. We've already been announced Ronda Rousey having a match against Becky Lynch. It's going to be champion versus champion. More than likely, we're going to be seeing some sort of Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles match, in my opinion. My buddy Zach tweeted out the other day that how cool it would be if it ended up being Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan, a match that I think people have been waiting to see since, what year was WrestleMania 30 when he won the championship? Like 2013. So we've been waiting 5 years to see this match, if my math is right. Of course, Daniel Bryan has talked about how that was a match that was supposed to happen for SummerSlam. If Daniel Bryan didn't get injured, we all know that Brock was going to kill him. John Cena filled in for him and basically just wrestled the same style of match where Brock just threw him around the whole entire time. So, in my opinion, I think when I looked at the first round, I saw Seth Rollins beating Bobby Lashley. In my opinion, Dean Ambrose has to be some sort of involvement in that match, and that's why I picked Bobby Lashley. That's going to set up Rollins versus Ambrose somewhere down the road. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to happen at Survivor Series, so I think it has to happen more than likely just on Monday Night Raws and on house shows. It's probably going to be the Raw, main event that they've been hyping up for the next while. So I got Bobby Lashley winning in the first round. I'll take Angle to beat Dolph Ziggler. That'll set up Bobby Lashley against Kurt Angle. When we switch over and we look at the SmackDown Live brand in the first round, I got The Miz defeating Jeff Hardy. That is a little bit of an upset. I don't honestly know how much Jeff Hardy has wrestled since WWE's Hell in the Cell, but I just picked The Miz. He needed something to sort of give him a spark. It seems like he's lost a lot of matches, even though he did get the 2 fluke victories against Daniel Bryan. I think that honestly his stock is starting to slip. If you looked at it, it's like he needs to go out there and find a way to win the United States Championship or something like that, because when he's in that sort of mid-card feud over a title, that's when he really gets heated up. He needs to jump back over to Raw and find a way to get that Intercontinental title off of Rollins, because it doesn't look like Rollins is going to be defending it anytime soon for the next while. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton, a match that seems like it's right out of 2009 on the SmackDown Live brand. We're going to be jumping into Doc Brown's time machine for this one. I got Mysterio getting the win here. I wouldn't be surprised because Mysterio just came back. He wrestled on the SmackDown 1000 show. And then, of course, now he's on the Jericho cruise, cruising around the world, having fun with those guys. So I don't know. I don't really see Rey Mysterio's first loss since returning to WWE being a part of the first round of the Crown Jewel tournament. So when we look over to the semifinals between Bobby Lashley and Kurt Angle, I'm going to be taking Kurt Angle to get the win over Bobby Lashley. I'm sure these guys, if you go back, you can see had matches in Impact and in TNA, and I'm sure they were really good matches, but I don't think that's the style of match that WWE is going to be asking out of Kurt Angle. In my opinion, I got Kurt going all the way to the finals now after beating Lashley. Hey, what up, guys? Sorry I had to move there. I was talking about the Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton match, and in that match, I got Rey Mysterio coming back and getting the win, where he would go on and face The Miz in the semifinals of the tournament. Moving back over to the Monday Night Raw side, I would pair Bobby Lashley going up against Kurt Angle. I think that Kurt Angle would honestly get the win to move on to the finals. I know that it is asking a lot for Kurt Angle to come back and wrestle 3 times, honestly, in one night. But definitely the storyline for Monday Night Raw is that Angle is pushing himself to the limits. He doesn't know if this is going to be the last time that he's able to go out there and show everybody how good he was. So I wouldn't be surprised that Angle honestly moves on to the finals. Facing over on the other side, I had Rey Mysterio pairing up against The Miz. In this match, I'm going to take Mysterio getting the win and moving on to the finals for SmackDown. I think the Mysterio versus Miz is honestly a sneaky good match that you honestly wouldn't have on a list of Mysterio dream matches since his return to WWE. But I think it honestly is going to be a treat that we honestly get to see this one match. In the finals, this would be a pairing of Kurt Angle wrestling against Rey Mysterio. I believe this would be a throwback to 2002. That would be the first match on the SummerSlam show. I'm pretty sure. On that show, I'm always sort of weirded out by the outfits that both of these guys wear. Obviously, they were trying to treat SummerSlam like it was a really big match, like a WrestleMania. Kurt Angle is wearing a weird attire. I think that in my head, Rey Mysterio is wearing some sort of a white jumper. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but the match is honestly really good. In my opinion, I think that Kurt Angle is going to be costed the match. In the finals, I wouldn't be surprised to see Angle being interfered by either Shane McMahon from SmackDown Live, or maybe even Paige. Oh, Paige can't go. She's a woman there in Saudi Arabia, so it has to be Shane, or maybe even possibly Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle obviously are in some sort of a power struggle over Monday Night Raw. Corbin is in power right now due to Kurt Angle being on vacation. Obviously, Baron Corbin would want to stay in control of that job where he is running what is going on Monday Night Raw for Triple H and for Stephanie, who aren't around at this time. So somebody has to be the guy to keep Angle from winning the match. So I guess Rey Mysterio would be the guy winning the World Cup. He is a big name, obviously, from Rey Mysterio wrestling on the World's Greatest Royal Rumble show when he wasn't even a member of the WWE roster months back after WrestleMania. That obviously Rey Mysterio is somebody that the Saudis really asked for to be a part of the show. There was lots of rumors that came out after the World's Greatest Royal Rumble that they asked for Hulk Hogan and Yokozuna and Andre the Giant. They asked for all of these wrestlers who were no longer with us at this time. But honestly, when it comes down to it, Rey Mysterio, we're all glad that he is a member of the WWE roster. Yet once again, after those that time off after Rey split, whether if he wrestled for Lucha Underground or for some random indie, his time away from WWE has him well rested and ready to come back and have some really, really good matches. So I'm picking Rey Mysterio to win the World Cup, and I honestly think that he is one of the best guys to become one of the best in the world at Crown Jewel.